to my channel. So I am doing a stitch with me today, and I accidentally again started another whip. I've made the executive decision to completely stop my epic Pokemon project. I just wasn't enjoying it, to be honest. The chart was quite, without slating it, it's not very well made. Lots of the Pokemon were hidden behind other ones. I know the chart's actually made by the official Pokemon company, so I assume cross stitch really isn't their forte. I did actually find a nicer chart that was made by like a Pokemon fan, but I didn't have a piece of fabric big enough for it, so I just thought what I'll do is just use the fabric for something else, and that something else is this. This is the Heaven and Earth Designs log cabin home, and the artist is called, sorry, I'm just waiting for my screen to load. The artwork is by Dominic, Davison, and this is a mini. I decided that I would go for a mini for this HAED. Not that the minis are mini, they're still very large pieces of work. So yeah, I've been looking forward to starting this one for a while, and I just couldn't resist, so I thought because I'm stopping one, I can start another. So yeah, that's my justification for it, and I'm sticking with it. So I've done a fair bit, well, not a fair bit in comparison to how much there is, but I've done a few diagonals now, and yeah, so I'm just going to carry on. I'm also, for this method, I'm doing parking, but I'm doing it slightly different to usual, where for each row, I'm trying to do the stitches that are far away from each other first. That way, any single stitches in between will cover up the threads that are travelling at the back. And just in an effort to try and make the back a little bit more tidy. I'm not really concerned about how the back looks, but I think it's nice to make a little bit of effort just to make sure it's not crazy, because if it's crazy then you can't get your needle through, and then it's just hard work. I've also come to another realisation with my markup app, and so for all of the videos that I've done so far where I've been moaning that my app is lying to me about the colours and the symbols, it's actually because the app does have a feature where you can upload the PDF in HD, which I didn't realise you could do, and I found that out after watching a video on the Markup RXP's YouTube channel. And so I've re-uploaded my chart in HD, and it works absolutely perfectly now. There's no confusion between symbols, and yeah, it's perfect now, so that's nice. Because that was definitely the one thing that I used to think to myself, oh, Pattern Keeper never did this, it always knew what each symbol was and what colour it was meant to be. But actually it's because of my own silliness and that I wasn't uploading it in HD, because it was uploading kind of fuzzy, and I kept thinking, I don't know why it's fuzzy, because the actual PDF chart, when I look at it in a PDF reader, isn't fuzzy at all, it's super clear. But yeah, it turns out it was just the way it was uploaded, so that's really good. I'm actually missing a few colours that I need for this chart, so once I get a little bit further in, just to see if there are any more, I'll make a small order for those ones that I can fill in. Got a couple of gaps here, and then there's going to be a few more gaps coming up now. So we've been having beautiful weather. It's definitely starting to warm up and spring is in full swing. And then today it's really rainy. But yesterday it was lovely. Me and my boyfriend went for a bike ride. And then we're going on our little fishing weekend tomorrow. And then it's back to work on Sunday, because we've had this week off. Back to work just in time for the weather to be lovely next week. And that's always the way it is. So in my last video I mentioned how my clutch on my car had broken. It is now fixed. My lovely boyfriend fixed it for me, although it did take 3 days rather than the one we'd expected, because we kept kind of finding new problems and deciding we need new parts, we need this tool and we need that tool. But yes, she is working again, so that's nice, because where we live you really can't get on without a car, because even to go to the shop you have to drive 2 miles, so yeah, definitely not a place to live for people with a broken car. Okay, so these two here, that is this T symbol I don't have, so we just have to ignore those and come back and fill them in another time. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this chart so far. I have to make a decision about which whip I'm going to take on the fishing trip with me, because I only want to take one. So I've already got enough stuff to take with all of my supplies. And I feel like it's probably going to be this one, unless I have some sort of revelation where I prefer another one in the next 12 hours, which I think is unlikely. Okay, so do we have more of you? We do, but we already have a park stitch down there, so in this guy. I think in my last video where I was showing how I end my stitches and I was saying about doing a pin stitch, I forgot to mention one of the most important parts is doing the stitch in the direction of the thread of the fabric. So for example, this one that I just did, the thread on that square is on top. So you have ones that run above and ones that run above vertically and ones that run above horizontally. You should do it in the one that's on top, that way it can get buried kind of underneath in between the threads. Yeah. Raining really quite heavy outside now. I wonder if you can hear that. Although every time I say in my videos, I wonder if you can hear that, you absolutely can't hear it, so I'm sure you can't hear it, but yeah, it's really heavy. So I hope you're all having a lovely week so far. Me and my boyfriend have just finished cleaning the house, ready so that when we come back from our trip, it's nice and clean. We haven't got anything to do. And then, yeah, nothing exciting really has happened. Okay, so we have to do some counting here. Let's see how this goes. Don't have anything parked on there. No. I think that's right. So, as I was saying earlier about doing stitches which are far away from each other first, so this next row, this symbol that is now highlighted, there's 2 stitches in between those two. So if I stitch those first, when I do those 2 stitches, they will secure the thread in the back. And I don't always, I mean, sometimes I'll miss things and, you know, make a mistake, but just, like I said, trying to be a little bit more conscious of the back of the work. Really throwing me off where I've had to miss stitches because I don't have the colour. I'm not used to that. Okay, so my next stitch for this, in this diagonal, I already have a parked thread. So I'm going to park this one in the next diagonal. which is there, I think. Luckily, today is the only forecasted rainy day this week, so we should have lovely weather for the rest of the weekend. The rest of the weekend. It's still going to be cold at night, but in the day it's starting to warm up, so it's really exciting because it has been a long winter. So this top left corner of this design is a lot of tree. So this is going to be a lot of tree confetti for a little while before we get to anything else. Which I can't say that I love, but I am enjoying it still. I haven't started to lose the will to live yet. So, however, maybe in a few days that won't be the case. Who knows? Okay, so where is the next one of this? Miles away. There's one up there. Is that too far for me to go? I like to roughly say I'll travel a max of 2 fingers width away. I think that one may be okay, so that's about right. Probably no further than that. It's really nice not having to check if my app is lying to me about what colour I should be using. I was also wrong before when I said that the app was free. It's free for a month, I believe, and then you have to pay. I think in the UK it's £8. Just a one-off payment, but that's nothing too crazy. I'm more than happy to pay that. I'm not sure what that might be in dollars. I think it's maybe like $11, something like that. There's a lot of this key symbol around here. Yeah, I'll have to say that the only thing that I prefer in Pattern Keeper to the markup app is that it will automatically assign the colours to the symbols for you, whereas in this app you have to do it yourself, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah, I would definitely like it if the app developers ever managed to include that. Do I have this colour? No, that's another colour that I don't have. Okay, I'll have to maybe do my order today so it can come for next week. Move it. So this symbol, there's a huge gap between those two on that row, so I'm going to do that one first. So I was under the impression that the Lowry stand was magnetic, but mine doesn't seem to be. So I don't know now whether I was just imagining that the stand was magnetic, like the clump was magnetic. I'm sure I've seen people putting their needles and their scissors on there. Or maybe that's something that they've stopped doing, or it's only on certain models or colours of it. But mine certainly isn't magnetic, which is kind of disappointing, so I thought that would be a nice place for me to put my scissors. Interesting. I think that's this one. I'm parked in the wrong place. Of course. I'm just going to double check that one with my bobbin. Yeah. Okay. Simple parking mistake. When me and my boyfriend were cleaning my house earlier, I usually have all of my stitching stuff around our armchair in our living room, and the armchair arms are quite thick, so I balance my, well, I don't balance, I put my bobbin organizer boxes on each arm. Anyway, when he was hoovering, he knocked one off, and it was just like quiet panic from him, because I don't know if he was too scared to tell me that he'd done it. But luckily it was just a few that had fallen out. I've got them quite tightly jam-packed in there, so that was a disaster avoided there. So that would not have been fun trying to put them all back into order. I keep them in number order. Yeah, I think he was very concerned about what my reaction was going to be, but it was fine. So I'm actually thinking of, well, I've started, but I'm thinking of opening an Etsy store and selling my own cross-stitch designs. There's one that I'm working on right now. I'm just sort of, I've got the chart made, I'm just kind of making the PDF with the instructions and information and whatnot. Yeah, something I'm definitely considering. So it'd be nice to know if anyone is interested in seeing some of the designs, or would be, I don't know, just kind of get people's thoughts on it. Is that right? Yeah. Have any of you guys ever started a big project and then realised after, you know, a few days or even weeks that you actually just aren't enjoying it and have had to put it away and put it to bed for forever? I have to say I'm not in two minds about whether I made the right decision or not. I know I did. I'm kind of glad that I made that decision just 2 Pokemon in and not any further in, because I didn't frog it out of the fabric, I just cut it away and used the leftover piece for this, and there's still plenty left because it was a huge design. And of course this is just a mini, so it doesn't take up too much fabric as in comparison to a regular or a super size. Okay, where are we going to park here? So, as with earlier, that one, we have a park thread further down for this symbol, so I'm not going to go and park right at the top again because that's too far. I'll just park nearby, and then hopefully that comes in useful when I get back onto that diagonal. So I will go there. Yeah, it's definitely slow going through this confetti. Times like this I wish I could stitch cross country because I know it would be faster. But actually it wouldn't be faster for me in the long run because I'd spend most of the time unpicking and frogging stitches, so. Although I definitely feel like I'm making really good progress on this. I only started this yesterday, so. getting somewhere, I guess, in a day. Is that too far? No, that's okay. I'll park that there. Is that too far? This is quite a short piece of thread, so I'm not going to park that one down there. I will just do as before and park nearby. I'll just park this one in that stitch next to it that it calls for. So again, trying to do the stitches that have big gaps. And where are we going now? Okay. Relying on the fact that my parked threads are parked in the right places because I'm basing other parked threads on them now. Okay, I think I'm going to do this colour and then I will call it a day. Yes, I'm definitely going to put in an order for some floss today. Just can't be having these gaps. Okay. I really need to get some more needle minders. So yeah, there we have it. That's how far I've gotten so far. I'm sure the next time I film this I'll have made much more progress on it because I can't seem to leave it alone, even though it's only been a day. And I feel like I might have to rearrange my Whip Go board because I've got lots of new starts that aren't on there and I need them to be included because I'm not following Whip Go because I want to do those new starts. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me and I hope you have a lovely rest of your week and weekend and happy stitching!